Hello. Thank you for joining me today. I am Latoya Hart, and if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. Today's topic is about getting rid of the junk in yo trunk. I know that today's the trend of the time is to the more voluptuous and curves you have is the better, and I think that that is all well and fine and awesome if that is what you prefer. But the junk I am talking about today has nothing to do with your figure. The junk I am talking about is the junk that binds you and blocks you from getting what it is God has for you. So last year, a friend of mine and I decided that we were going to take a girls' trip, a much needed girls' trip to visit a friend out of town. We planned the trip in advance, and the morning of the trip, she arrives at my house in her brand new car, shiny, bright, and new. I was so excited. And we ate breakfast, and shortly after breakfast, my husband went to go load the bags into the car. Husband goes out, opens the trunk, and all this stuff just starts to fall out of the trunk. The trunk was full to the brim. When I tell you it was full to the brim, it was so full she couldn't fit a new pair of pumps in it if she tried to. So we began to take things out, unload things, found things that were in there for years that she had no idea was in her trunk and had no purpose in her life any longer. But we continued to take things out, and she in that moment she realized that she'd been carrying around things that no longer served her purpose and was just occupying space that she could use for other things, occupying space, so much space that she couldn't even use the trunk for its intended purpose. And what we find is in our lives there are things that block us and bind us. Our lives are full with old junk, old baggage that no longer serves a purpose in our lives, yet we still continue to carry it because we aren't aware of how these things are blocking us or binding us, and we don't really work to try to release ourselves from the roadblocks or the things that bind us or block us from moving forward. And although her car was shiny, bright, and new, you would have never known that she had been carrying around so much junk in her trunk from the exterior. And a lot of times when you meet someone or they meet you, you are glowing, you look amazing on the outside. And the same thing, ladies, when you meet a guy, you see his swag, you just, oh my God, head over heels in love because he looks amazing. But how is he doing on the inside? How is his interior? Is he carrying a lot of baggage? Does he have a lot of junk that he needs to release and has not done the work to release? Or what about you? Are you carrying baggage that you haven't released? Do you have a lot of junk that you haven't been able to let go, that's blocking you, the kind of stuff that will destroy a relationship if you carry it with you? And him too, if he has a lot of junk and a lot of baggage, if he carries that into his next relationship, it will destroy the new relationship the same way it destroyed the prior relationship. And a lot of times we get into relationships and we don't really consider how the baggage could tear down and destroy the new relationship because we haven't done the work or we don't want to take the time to release that kind of stuff. So what I encourage you to do is, if you want to have a happy, healthy, and thriving relationship, now is the time to dump that old junk. Dump that old baggage. It doesn't serve a purpose in your life any longer, and you need to get rid of it. You will not keep trash in your house reeking and smelling. You cannot keep trash in your life that reeks and smell. You have to dump the garbage. Now's the time to do it. So the best way to do it is through prayer, meditation, journaling, and exercising. It's totally up to you what is the best approach for you. Different things work for different people. One of the number one things that I encourage you to do, whether you choose prayer, meditation, journaling, and exercising, the number one thing that I encourage you to do is whatever your spirituality is, get closer connected to it. Number two that I encourage you to is journaling. Journaling is so important because it allows you to see, identify trends and patterns and what is really going on with you. If you journal from one day, if you journal for 1 week, you can see how you are doing overall, physically, mentally, spiritually, just by reading your journal entries for a week. If you do it for an entire month, you can see how you're doing for that month. If you do it even longer, you can see and more easily identify patterns. The blessing in this is if it becomes a time where you are struggling mentally, you are struggling emotionally, you have a roadblock and you can't move past it, it will be so easy to identify that if you're journaling. It'll be easier for you to read it and see the trends and how you've either made progress, or how you're if you have some challenges, you'll be able to see that through reading each entry. And the great thing that you could do is you can reach out to a close trusted friend and have a conversation about how you were feeling. Have a conversation about what's going on with you, and it'll be therapeutic to kind of begin to release whatever it is that might be going on. And if your friend is unable to help you move past whatever the roadblock is, then you can reach out to someone, a mental health professional in your area. You already have the journal entries, and you can kind of show them what's been going on with you and do the work so that you can move forward and be in a great space, physically, mentally, and emotionally, prepared to go into a relationship without carrying any baggage. Because if you don't get rid of that baggage, you're going to carry that baggage into the next relationship. In the same way that the baggage destroyed prior relationships, it will continue to destroy relationships that you get yourself into going forward. Because although the faces and the names will change, the outcome will remain the same. The storyline will remain the same, because you're still carrying all that old junk. So it's time to release that old baggage, let it go. It's time to move forward, and the best way to move forward is make sure that you're at your best. When you're at your best and you get rid of that mess, then you had the ability to go into a happy, healthy, and thriving relationship. So I encourage you to do the work today so that you are at your best and you can meet an amazing person and have a wonderful future. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. I thank you for your time today, and please subscribe. Thank you.